Peace and blessings, y'all. In this corner boxing 24. Good evening. How's everyone doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good on this side as always. God is great. God is good, and I definitely can't complain. And I just wanted to say Ramadan Mubarak to all the Muslims who are fasting, observing the month of Ramadan, as I am myself. And I wish everyone a successful Ramadan. So let's get into a little bit of what's been going on this past week. We know what we saw last Saturday. We saw Lamont Roach put on a spectacular performance, a performance that most trainers and boxers on YouTube, giving interviews and being asked about the fight and talking about the fight themselves, didn't give Lamont Roach a chance. Some of them admitted it, some haven't. And in particular, I watched something earlier with Gary Russell Jr. And I like Gary Russell Jr., but it's like he couldn't just say it was a robbery. He was interviewed and he said, nah, I wouldn't say it was a robbery. And I'm like, how could it not be a robbery when the man took a knee, when the man turned his back and the man went to his corner and had his forehead wiped off by his trainer? How could that not be a robbery when that was a 10-8 round because of the knee, when it could have been a disqualification for him going to his corner, and for him turning his back, that could have been waved off, could have been a TKO. Like, how could it not be a robbery? Absolutely it was. So when I hear Gary Russell Jr. and people like him that didn't give Lamont Roach a chance, that's really what it's about. 1 minute you don't like Tank, the next minute you hating on the man that gave him the best fight he ever had. Yeah, we know it wasn't you, Gary Russell, but Lamont Roach got in that position. He happened to do it. You got unfinished business with Lomachenko. If you want to keep it real, you should have tried to get a rematch with him. I'm not saying you didn't pursue it. I don't know what happened, but you didn't. But you kept calling out Tank. You never got it. So now be happy for the next fighter, in particular the next fighter that's coming from your area, that DMV area. I'm just saying, sound like a little hate to me. But anyway, we know what we saw. So if the New York State Athletic Commission doesn't overturn the decision and give Lamont Roach that win because of the three things that I mentioned, the 10-8 round for the knee touching the canvas, and him being disqualified because of going to the corner, and him being waved off because he turned around or turned his back. He didn't get any instructions, man, any permission from the referee. So we know what we saw. We know what was happening, and it is what it is. All right, Lamont Roach did his thing, and I believe in the rematch it's going to be even better. It's going to be even greater because now he's been in the ring with Tank up to date, and now he really know what to look for. And now, like he said earlier, as I saw him, he really going to press on the gas. He going to really go for it. He going to be careful. He going to fight strategically like he did, but he know the spots where he could hit Tank. And y'all can say what y'all want, man. Tank was frustrated, man, that he couldn't get off, that he couldn't get that KO, that he really couldn't even get off. Forget about the KO, because he needed that after that 8th round. There was no doubt about it. He needed that. But he couldn't even really get off like he usually do. He was frustrated. That's why he took his shoulder and pushed it up into his face. And that wasn't called. But then after he did that, Lamont Roach clipped him. Then Steve Willis warned him about that. Maybe he didn't see that shoulder, but we saw it. Lamont Roach felt it, frustrated, trying to be dirty. Then you take the little knee, because I heard when he gets tired, when he's sparring, that he'll just jump out the ring. Frustration, because he couldn't do what he always does. So that tells you the level of opposition that he's been up against. Now he has somebody that could really put it in, that could really counter him and go back and forth with him and overdo him, over-counter him. So when you throw a shot and you hit Lamont Roach, he countering you once, 2 times, maybe even 3, right? He throwing combinations. Or you counter him, or you throw a punch and miss, or he make you miss, he counters you. See, you ain't never had to deal with that, man. Come on, let's just keep it real. So we know what we saw with Lamont Roach. And I wish him the best, man. I hope he get that immediate rematch. I hope they overturn that decision. But if they don't, man, go ahead and, man, just spank him out in the next fight. And then the sky's the limit for you, Lamont Roach. You know, you can go on and fight those other 135 pounders. And anybody can get it with Lamont Roach. You know what I mean? I ain't, I'm not no bandwagon dude. I know what I saw. I knew he was going to win, even though he got the draw, but we know he technically won. I knew he was going to show out, and I said it. One of the very few that said it. And he's a problem for everybody at 135. I'm just keeping it real. He's a problem for Shakur. He's a problem for Keyshawn. A problem for Keyshawn Davis, because he's defensive, but he's offensive as well. He could take a shot. He could box. He could move. He could bang. He could do whatever you want to do. He's a problem for everybody. All right? So I just wanted to say that. Give him his props. Give him his flowers right now. Peace and blessings, y'all, in this corner box in 24. Please subscribe to the page. Please leave your comments. Let me know how you feel. Everybody enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace.